Hello, English learners. Welcome back to our English listening practice session. I am Evelyn, your host for today. If you are new here, I would like to tell you that we upload a new English learning video every single day to help you improve your English faster and speak more confidently in daily life. In today's episode, you are going to improve not only your English listening skills, but also your speaking fluency, your sentence structure, and your confidence when expressing ideas. Today, we are focusing on an important topic that many intermediate learners struggle with: B1, English listening practice, and how to speak English easily and fluently in real-life situations. We will go through natural daily life conversations, realistic examples, and practical speaking exercises that will train your ears to understand natural "I'm English" and train your mouth to respond smoothly without translating in your head. You will hear complete situations. You will repeat after me, and you will practice building sentences, step by step, just like in real communication. If you sometimes understand English, but feel nervous when speaking, or if you pause too much while trying to find the right words, this lesson is designed for you. By the end of this video, you will feel more comfortable forming sentences naturally, responding in conversations, and expressing your thoughts in clear and confident English. Remember, fluency does not mean speaking fast. It means speaking smoothly, clearly, and comfortably without fear. So today, we will practice speaking in a calm and structured way, focusing on rhythm, natural phrases, and real communication. Before we begin, make sure you are ready to focus. Maybe take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and prepare to speak out loud with me. Because listening is powerful, but speaking is transformation. If you enjoy this kind of practice, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new lesson. That helps you grow step by step. So, find a quiet space, open your mind, and let's begin your B1, English listening practice, and start building real fluency together. Let's begin by thinking about something very simple, your morning routine, because daily life situations are the best way to build real fluency. Imagine you wake up in the morning, your alarm rings, and you slowly open your eyes. Instead of thinking in your native language, I want you to try thinking in English, very slowly, very clearly. You might say, I don't want Shent to wake up yet, or it's time to get up, or even 5 more minutes. These are small sentences, but they are powerful because fluency starts with simple thoughts. Now listen carefully to this short situation and imagine it clearly in your mind. Evelyn wakes up at 7 o'clock. She feels a little tired, but she knows she has an important day ahead. She sits up in bed, stretches her arms, and says to herself, "Today is going to be productive." Did you notice the rhythm of that sentence? Today is going to be productive. Try saying it with me, slowly. Today is going to be productive. Good. Now say it again, without stopping. Today is going to be productive. Excellent. Now let's expand this situation. Evelyn walks into the kitchen. She makes herself a cup of coffee and looks outside the window. The weather is calm and the sky is clear. She thinks, it looks like a beautiful day. Repeat after me. It looks like a beautiful day. Again, It looks like a beautiful day. Notice how natural that sentence feels. This is everyday English. This is B1 level fluency. Simple, clear, expressive. Now I want you to respond to a question. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you usually do in the morning?" Don't rush. Think calmly. You can say, "I usually wake up at 6. I check my phone for a few minutes. Then I brush my teeth. After that, I prepare breakfast." Try building a full answer, slowly. I usually wake up at 7. I wash my face, and then I make breakfast. Very good. Speak it out loud. Feel the rhythm. Let's practice listening again. I will describe another short morning story. Listen first, then you will repeat parts of it. Evelyn didn't sleep out well last night, so she feels slightly exhausted. However, she still decides to go for a short walk. She believes that fresh air helps her think clearly. Did you hear the word however? That word connects ideas. Try using it. I was tired. However, I finished my work. Say it slowly. I was tired. However, I finished my work. Good. One more time. Naturally. I was tired. However, I finished my work. Now let's move into a speaking exercise. I will give you a situation, and you respond in English. Imagine your friend asks you, "Why are you feeling tired today?" You might say, "I stayed up late last night," or "I didn't get enough sleep," or "I had a lot on my mind." Choose one sentence and say it clearly. Good. Now add one more sentence. Maybe. "But I'll be fine." Excellent. This is how conversations grow. One sentence at a time. Fluency comes from connecting small ideas, not from memorizing complicated vocabulary. For example, instead of saying something very advanced, you can say, "I'm a little busy today. I have a few things to finish. I'll call you later." These are natural, practical sentences. Repeat after me. I have a few things to finish. Again, I have a few things to finish. Perfect. Now let's practice a short dialogue. Listen first, then repeat. Friend, are you free this afternoon? Evelyn, not really. I have some work to complete. Friend, maybe we can meet in the evening? Evelyn, that sounds better. Now you repeat Evelyn's lines. Not really. I have some work to complete. Good. That sounds better. Excellent. Feel how smooth that sounds. Let's challenge you a little more. Imagine you are at a cafe. You want to order something. You can say, "Can I get a cup of coffee, please?" Or, "I'd like a sandwich." Or, "Do you have anything vegetarian?" Repeat after me. I'd like a sandwich. Again. I'd like a sandwich. Good. Now say the full request. I'd like a sandwich and a cup of tea, please. Excellent. Now I want you to describe your own day, from morning until now. Speak slowly, even if you make small mistakes. That is okay. For example, this morning, I woke up at 7. I checked my messages, then I took a shower. After that, I had breakfast. Continue your own story. Speak for at least 30 seconds. Don't stop. Just continue. This is how fluency grows. Let's listen to another short story. Evelyn was preparing for an important meeting. She felt slightly nervous, but also excited. She reviewed her notes carefully and practiced what she wanted to say. During the meeting, she spoke clearly and confidently. Afterwards, she felt proud of herself. Now repeat this sentence. She felt slightly nervous, but also excited. Again, she felt slightly nervous, but also excited. Very good. Now answer this question out loud. When was the last time you felt nervous, but excited? Maybe before an exam or before meeting someone new. Try saying, I felt nervous before my interview, but I was also excited. Speak slowly. Feel the emotion in the sentence. Remember, speaking fluently is not about perfection. It is about communication. It is about expressing yourself, even with simple words. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes. So keep repeating, keep responding, keep thinking in English. Now take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and prepare for the next listening exercise. Because in the next section, we will practice longer conversations with more natural rhythm and more expressive vocabulary. Now let's continue and move a little deeper into real conversation practice. Imagine you are getting ready to leave your house. You check your bag, your phone, your keys, and you suddenly realize something. Eine is missing. Maybe you say, where did I put my wallet? Or, I can't find my keys. These small, everyday sentences are extremely important because they appear again and again in daily life. Repeat after me. I can't find my keys. Again, I can't find my keys. Now say it with a little emotion. I can't find my keys. Good. Notice how your voice changes slightly. Emotion makes your English sound more natural. Now listen to this short situation carefully. Evelyn is about to leave for work. She looks at the clock and realizes she is running late. She says, oh no, I'm going to be late. Repeat, I'm going to be late. Again, I'm going to be late. Excellent. Now add a reason. I'm going to be late because I woke up late. Speak it slowly. I'm going to be late because I woke up late. Very good. Now imagine you are calling a colleague. You say, hi, I might be a few minutes late. Repeat after me. I might be a few minutes late. Again, I might be a few minutes late. This is polite, natural, and very useful English. Let's build this into a short conversation. Listen first, then you will repeat. Colleague, is everything okay? Evelyn, yes, I just missed the bus. Colleague, don't worry, take your time. Evelyn, thank you. I'll be there soon. Now repeat Evelyn's responses. Yes, I just missed the bus. Good. Thank you. I'll be there soon. Excellent. Feel how natural that sounds. Now let's practice responding quickly. I will ask you a question, and you answer immediately. Even if your sentence is simple, why were you late last time? Wow, you can say, there was a lot of traffic, or my alarm didn't ring, or I overslept. Choose one and say it out loud. Good. Now add one more detail. So I had to rush. Excellent. Fluency at B1 level means you can explain reasons and give small details. For example, I was tired, so I went to bed early. Repeat after me. I was tired, so I went to bed early. Again, I was tired, so I went to bed early. Perfect. Notice how the word so connects your ideas smoothly. Now let's practice listening to a slightly longer description. Evelyn arrives at the office. She greets her coworkers warmly. She says, "Good morning, everyone. How's it going?" One of her coworkers replies, "Pretty good. Just a bit busy." Evelyn smiles and says, "That's understandable. It's been a busy week." Now repeat, "It's been a busy week." Again, it's been a busy week. Very good. Now I want you to answer this question. How do you usually greet people at work or at school? Maybe you say, good morning, or hi, how are you? Or hey, what's up? Choose your favorite greeting and say it clearly. Good. Now add a follow-up question. Maybe. How was your weekend? Excellent. Let's practice describing feelings at work. Sometimes you feel focused. Sometimes you feel distracted. Repeat after me. I'm having trouble concentrating today. Again, I'm having trouble concentrating today. Good. Now another one. I have a lot on my plate right now. Repeat. I have a lot on my plate right now. Excellent. This is a very natural expression. Now let's build confidence with opinion sentences. Imagine someone asks, what do you think about the new project? You can say, I think it's a great opportunity. Or, I believe it will take time. Or, in my opinion, we need more information. Repeat. In my opinion. We need more information. Again. In my opinion, we need more information. Very good. Let's practice a small discussion. Listen carefully. Coworker. Do you think we can finish this by Friday? Evelyn. It might be challenging, but I think it's possible. Coworker. We'll have to work together. Evelyn. Absolutely. Teamwork makes a big difference. Now repeat Evelyn's lines. It might be challenging, but I think it's possible. Good. Absolutely. Teamwork makes a big difference. Excellent. Now I want you to create your own sentence using might. For example, I might go out tonight, or it might rain later. Speak your own example now. Good. That's how you train your brain to respond faster. Let's slow down and practice pronunciation. Repeat after me carefully. Comfortable, comfortable. Notice that we don't say every letter clearly. It sounds like comfortably. Try again. Comfortable. Good. Now say this sentence. I feel comfortable speaking English. Again. I feel comfortable speaking English. Excellent. Now let's move into a real-life scenario outside work. Imagine you meet a friend after a long time. You say, it's been a while. Repeat, it's been a while. Good. Now add, how have you been? Again, how have you been? Excellent. Listen to this short conversation. Friend, I started a new job recently. Evelyn, that's amazing. Congratulations. Friend, thank you. I'm still learning. Evelyn, you'll do great. Now repeat. That's amazing. Congratulations. Good. You'll do great. Excellent. Now answer this question. Have you ever started something new and felt unsure? Maybe you say, yes, I felt unsure when I started learning English. Continue that sentence. Add one more idea. But I kept practicing. Excellent. Remember, fluency grows when you speak longer sentences, not just one-word answers. Instead of saying yes, say, yes, I agree with you. Instead of saying no, say, no, I don't think so. Repeat, I don't think so. Again, I don't think so. Good. Now let's practice storytelling. Tell me about a busy day you had recently. Start with, last week, I had a very busy day. Continue speaking. Describe what happened, even if your grammar is not perfect. Keep going for at least 40 seconds. Speak slowly, breathe, and continue. You see, B1 fluency is about keeping the conversation alive. You can explain, describe, respond, and react. You don't need advanced vocabulary. You need clarity. our rhythm, and confidence. Now take a small pause, relax your mouth, and prepare for the next listening practice. Because next, we will explore conversations in social situations where you express preferences, make plans, and handle small misunderstandings. Now let's move into social situations because real fluency appears when you interact naturally with other people. Imagine it is the weekend and a friend sends you a message. Are you doing anything this Saturday? Listen to that question carefully. Are you doing anything this Saturday? Repeat it slowly. Are you doing anything this Saturday? Good. Now imagine your answer. You could say, I'm not sure yet. Or, I was thinking about relaxing at home. Or, yes, I already have plans. Choose one response and say it clearly, without rushing. Let's build this into a small conversation. Friend, do you want to grab lunch together? Evelyn, that sounds nice. What time were you thinking? Friend, maybe around 1? Evelyn, 1 works for me. Now repeat Evelyn's sentences. That sounds nice. What time were you thinking? Good. 1 works for me. Excellent. Notice how simple these sentences are, but how natural they feel. Now I want you to practice making suggestions. You can say, how about trying that new cafe? Repeat after me. How about trying that new cafe? Again. How about trying that new cafe? Good. Another suggestion. Why don't we watch a movie? Repeat. Why don't we watch a movie? Excellent. These expressions are very useful in daily life. Let's practice agreeing and disagreeing politely. Imagine your friend says, let's go hiking this weekend. You can respond, that's a great idea. Or, I'm not really in the mood for hiking. Repeat after me. I'm not really in the mood for hiking. Again, I'm not really in the mood for hiking. Very good. Notice the soft tone. It sounds polite, not rude. Now listen to this short situation. Evelyn meets her friend at a restaurant. The place is crowded, and there is a long wait. Her friend says, maybe we should try somewhere else. Evelyn replies, that might be better. I'm getting hungry. Repeat. That might be better. I'm getting hungry. Good. Say it again. Naturally. That might be better. I'm getting hungry. Excellent. Now answer this question out loud. What do you usually do when a place is too crowded? Maybe you say, I usually wait, or I look for another place. Add one more detail. Because I don't like waiting too long. Speak it slowly. Feel the connection between ideas. Fluency at B1 level means you can explain your preferences clearly. For example, I prefer quiet places. Repeat, I prefer quiet places. Again, I prefer quiet places. Good. Now expand it. I prefer quiet places because I can relax there. Excellent. Notice how adding because makes your sentence stronger. Let's practice expressing feelings in social situations. Sometimes you feel comfortable. Sometimes you feel awkward. Repeat after me. I felt a little awkward at first. Again. I felt a little awkward at first. Good. Now continue. But then I started enjoying myself. Say the full sentence. I felt a little awkward at first, but then I started enjoying myself. I'm excellent. Now listen carefully to a slightly longer conversation. Friend, did you enjoy the party? Evelyn, at first, I didn't know many people. Friend, that can be uncomfortable. Evelyn, yes, but after a while, I started talking to a few interesting people. Now repeat Evelyn's main sentence. After a while, I started talking to a few interesting people. Good. Again. After a while, I started talking to a few interesting people. Excellent. Now I want you to describe a social event you attended recently. It could be a family dinner, a birthday, or a small gathering. Start with, last weekend, I went to. Continue speaking for at least 40 seconds. Don't stop. Even if you hesitate, keep going. This is how you build endurance in speaking. Let's practice handling small misunderstandings. Imagine you didn't hear someone. You can say, sorry, could you repeat that? Repeat, sorry, could you repeat that? Good. Another option. I didn't catch that. Repeat, I didn't catch that. Excellent. These phrases make communication smoother. Now listen to this example. Friend, we're meeting at 6. Evelyn, sorry, did you say 6 or 7? Friend, 6. Evelyn, got it. See you at 6. Repeat, did you say 6 or 7? Good. Got it. See you at 6. Excellent. Let's practice talking about hobbies, because hobbies are common conversation topics. You can say, I've recently started reading more. Repeat, I've recently started reading more. Good. Another one. I'm trying to exercise regularly. Repeat, I'm trying to exercise regularly. Excellent. Now answer this question. What hobby are you trying to improve? Or maybe you say, I'm trying to improve my cooking skills. Add one more detail. Because I want to eat healthier. Speak it slowly, clearly, confidently. Let's work on describing past experiences. Listen carefully. Evelyn traveled to a new city last month. She was impressed by the architecture and the friendly people. She says, it was an unforgettable experience. Repeat, it was an unforgettable experience. Again, it was an unforgettable experience. Very good. Now create your own sentence using the structure. It was a experience. For example, it was a challenging experience, or it was a wonderful experience. Say your own example now. Excellent. Remember, storytelling is powerful. When you tell stories, you connect ideas, use past tense, express feelings, and build confidence. Don't worry about small grammar mistakes. Focus on communicating your message clearly. Now take a slow breath, relax your jaw, and prepare for the next listening section. Because next, we will practice handling everyday problems like shopping issues, transportation delays, and small daily challenges, where clear communication is very important. Now let's step into everyday problem situations, because real fluency shows when you can handle small challenges calmly and clearly. Imagine you walk into a store and you want to buy a shirt. You try it on, but it doesn't fit properly. You look in the mirror and you say, this is a little too tight. Repeat after me. This is a little too tight. Again. This is a little too tight. Good. Now another sentence. Do you have this in a larger size? Repeat. Do you have this in a larger size? Or, excellent. Now listen carefully to this short interaction. Customer. Excuse me. I think there's a mistake on my bill. Employee. Let me take a look. Evelyn says, I was charged twice for this item. Repeat. I was charged twice for this item. Again. I was charged twice for this item. Very good. This is practical, everyday English. Now I want you to practice explaining a problem. Imagine your food order is wrong at a restaurant. You can say, I'm sorry, but I ordered something different. Repeat after me. I'm sorry, but I ordered something different. Good. Now add more detail. I ordered the chicken, not the beef. Say the full sentence. I'm sorry, but I ordered the chicken, not the beef. Excellent. Notice how polite language makes communication smoother. Instead of saying, this is wrong, you say, I think there might be a mistake. Repeat. I think there might be a mistake. Again. I think there might be a mistake. Good. This sounds calm, respectful, and confident. Let's practice another real-life situation. You are waiting for a bus, but it is late. You check the time and say, the bus is taking longer than usual. Repeat. The bus is taking longer than usual. Excellent. Now add your feeling. I hope it arrives soon. Say it together. I hope it arrives soon. Good. Now listen to this small dialogue. Passenger. Has the bus already left? Staff. No. It's delayed by 15 minutes. Evelyn says, thank you for the information. Repeat. Thank you for the information. Again. Thank you for the information. Excellent. Let's move to a phone conversation. Imagine your internet is not working. You call customer service. You say, hi, I'm having trouble with my internet connection. Repeat. I'm having trouble with my internet connection. Good. Now add, it stopped working this morning. Say the full sentence. I'm having trouble with my internet connection. It stopped working this morning. Excellent. Fluency means explaining problems clearly, but also calmly. For example, the screen keeps freezing. Repeat. The screen keeps freezing. Good. Another one. It doesn't seem to be responding. Repeat. It doesn't seem to be responding. Excellent. Notice the phrase doesn't seem. It makes your sentence softer. Now I want you to describe a recent small problem you faced. Maybe your phone battery died. Maybe you forgot something at home. Maybe your plan changed suddenly. Start with, yesterday, I had a small problem. Continue speaking for at least 40 seconds. Don't stop. Even. If you search for words, keep speaking. This builds fluency endurance. Let's practice giving advice. Imagine your friend says, I'm feeling stressed. You can respond, maybe you should take a short break. Repeat, maybe you should take a short break. Good. Another one. You could try going for a walk. Repeat, you could try going for a walk. Excellent. Now listen to this example. Friend, I can't focus on my work. Evelyn, why don't you try turning off your phone for a while? Repeat, why don't you try turning off your phone for a while? Good. Again, slowly. Why don't you try turning off your phone for a while? Or, excellent. Let's practice expressing uncertainty. Sometimes you are not sure about something. You can say, I'm not completely sure. Repeat, I'm not completely sure. Good. Another one. I'll have to check. Repeat, I'll have to check. Excellent. These phrases help you sound natural when you don't know the answer immediately. Now imagine someone asks, are you free tomorrow evening? You're not sure yet. You say, I'm not completely sure. I'll have to check my schedule. Repeat the full sentence. I'm not completely sure. I'll have to check my schedule. Excellent. Let's move into describing solutions. Listen carefully. Evelyn missed her train. At first, she felt frustrated. However, she decided to stay calm and look for the next available train. She says, "There's no point in worrying." Repeat, "There's no point in worrying." Again, "There's no point in worrying." Very good. Now create your own sentence with this structure. There's no point in, for example, there's no point in arguing, or there's no point in rushing. Say your own example now. Excellent. Remember, handling everyday challenges in English makes you stronger and more confident because life is not always perfect. Conversations are not always perfect. But if you can explain the situation, ask for help, and respond politely, you are already fluent at B1 level. Now take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, and prepare for the next listening practice. Because next, we will focus on expressing future plans, personal goals, and long-term ambitions using natural and confident English. Now let's move into talking about the future, because being able to express your plans, your goals, and your intentions is a very important part of B1 fluency. When someone asks you, "What are your plans for next week?" you should be able to answer comfortably, without fear, without long pauses, and without translating in your head. Listen carefully. Evelyn says, "Next week, I'm going to focus on improving my time management." Repeat after me. Next week, I'm going to focus on improving my time management. Good. Say it again, smoothly. Next week, I'm going to focus on improving my time management. Excellent. Notice the structure. I'm going to focus on. This is extremely useful in daily life. Now let's practice another example. I'm planning to start exercising regularly. Repeat. I'm planning to start exercising regularly. Again. I'm planning to start exercising regularly. Very good. Now create your own sentence using I'm planning to. Maybe I'm planning to read more books, or I'm planning to save more money. Say it out loud now. Excellent. Fluency means you can speak about short-term plans easily. For example, I'm meeting a friend tomorrow. Repeat. I'm meeting a friend tomorrow. Good. Notice we use present continuous for arranged plans. Now try. I'm traveling next month. Repeat. I'm traveling next month. Excellent. Let's build this into a small conversation. Friend. What are you doing this weekend? Evelyn. I'm visiting my family. Friend. That sounds nice. Evelyn. Yes, I haven't seen them in a while. Repeat Evelyn's response. Yes, I haven't seen them in a while. Again. Yes, I haven't seen them in a while. Good. Notice how natural that sounds. Now I want you to answer this question out loud. What are you doing this weekend? How? Speak clearly and add at least 2 details. For example, I'm staying at home and catching up on some work. Or, I'm going out with friends and trying a new restaurant. Don't rush. Build your sentence step by step. Now let's practice long-term goals, because goals make your language richer. Listen carefully. Evelyn says, "In the next few years, I'd like to develop my professional skills." Repeat. In the next few years, I'd like to develop my professional skills. Good. Again. I'd like to develop my professional skills. Excellent. Now use I'd like to in your own sentence. Maybe, I'd like to improve my English fluency. Or, I'd like to travel more. Say your sentence slowly, clearly, confidently. Excellent. Let's practice expressing hopes. You can say, I hope everything goes well. Repeat, I hope everything goes well. Good. And another one. I hope I can achieve my goals. Repeat, I hope I can achieve my goals. Excellent. These phrases are powerful and positive. Now listen to a slightly longer example. Evelyn has an important presentation next month. She feels a bit nervous, but also motivated. She says, I know it will be challenging, but I'm ready to give it my best. Repeat, I'm ready to give it my best. Again, I'm ready to give it my best. Very good. Notice the confidence in that sentence. Now I want you to describe one personal goal you have. Start with, one of my goals is continue speaking for at least 40 seconds. Explain why it is important to you. Explain what steps you are taking. Don't stop. Keep going. Even if you hesitate, continue. This builds real speaking strength. Let's practice making predictions, because at B1 level, you should be able to say what you think will happen. For example, I think it will rain later. Repeat, I think it will rain later. Good. Another one. I believe things will improve. Repeat, I believe things will improve. Excellent. Now listen to this example. Friend, do you think the project will succeed? Evelyn, yes, I believe it will. If we work together. Repeat, I believe it will. If we work together. Good. Again, I believe it will. If we work together. Excellent. Notice how if connects the condition. Let's practice conditional sentences because they are very important at B1 level. Repeat after me. If I practice every day, I will improve. Again, if I practice every day, I will improve. Good. Now make your own example. If I wake up earlier, I will have more time. Create your own now. Excellent. Now let's focus on pronunciation and share rhythm. Repeat slowly. Opportunity. Opportunity. Notice the stress. Opportunity. Try again. Opportunity. Good. Now say, this is a great opportunity. Again, this is a great opportunity. Excellent. Let's move into expressing determination. You can say, I'm determined to succeed. Repeat, I'm determined to succeed. Good. Another one. I won't give up easily. Repeat, I won't give up easily. Excellent. These sentences show strength. Now imagine someone asks you, why are you working so hard? You respond, because I want to build a better future. Repeat, because I want to build a better future. Good. Again, because I want to build a better future. Excellent. Remember, when you speak about the future, keep your sentences clear, structured, and connected. Use phrases like, I'm going to, I'd like to, I hope, I believe, if I will. These patterns make your speech organized and confident. Now take a calm breath, relax your voice, and prepare for the next listening practice. Because next, we will focus on deeper conversations where you express opinions, compare ideas, and speak with more detail and clarity. Now let's move into deeper conversations where you express opinions clearly, compare ideas, and explain your thoughts in more detail. Because at B1 level, you are no longer giving only short answers. You are developing your ideas, step by step, with confidence and clarity. Imagine someone asks you, do you prefer working from home or working in an office? This question requires more than one word. You need to explain your preference. Repeat after me. I prefer working from home because it saves time. Again, I prefer working from home because it saves time. Good. Now another example. I prefer working in an office because I can focus better. Repeat. I prefer working in an office because I can focus better. Excellent. Notice how the word because helps you expand your answer. It connects your opinion with your reason. Now I want you to answer the question yourself. Do you prefer studying in the morning or at night? Start with I prefer and add your reason. Speak slowly, clearly, and confidently. Good. Keep going. Add one more sentence to support your opinion. Now let's practice comparing two things. This is very important at B1 level. Repeat after me. Living in a big city is more exciting than living in a small town. Again, living in a big city is more exciting than living in a small town. Excellent. Notice the structure. More exciting than. Now another comparison. Studying online is more flexible than studying in a classroom. Repeat. Studying online is more flexible than studying in a classroom. Very good. Now create your own comparison. For example, coffee is stronger than tea, or summer is hotter than spring. Say your sentence clearly. Excellent. Let's practice expressing balanced opinions. Sometimes you agree, but not completely. Repeat. After me, I see your point, but I'm not entirely convinced. Again, I see your point, but I'm not entirely convinced. Good. This sounds thoughtful and natural. Listen carefully to this small discussion. Friend, I think technology makes life easier. Evelyn, I agree to some extent, but it can also be distracting. Repeat. I agree to some extent, but it can also be distracting. Again, I agree to some extent, but it can also be distracting. Excellent. Notice the phrase to some extent. It makes your opinion more balanced. Now I want you to respond to this question. Do you think social media is helpful? Answer with at least 2 sentences. For example, I think social media is helpful because it connects people. However, it can also waste a lot of time. Speak it slowly and clearly. Good. Add one more idea if you can. Let's move into on describing advantages and disadvantages. Repeat after me. One advantage is that it saves time. Again, one advantage is that it saves time. Good. Now, one disadvantage is that it can be expensive. Repeat. One disadvantage is that it can be expensive. Excellent. These structures help you speak more academically, but still naturally. Now listen to this longer example. Evelyn is discussing remote work. She says, one advantage of working remotely is flexibility. However, one disadvantage is the lack of social interaction. Repeat the full sentence slowly. One advantage of working remotely is flexibility. However, one disadvantage is the lack of social interaction. Very good. Now create your own advantage and disadvantage sentence. Choose any topic: online learning, public transportation, or living alone. Start with, one advantage is, then add, one disadvantage is, speak clearly. Excellent. Let's work on giving explanations, because explanations build fluency. Repeat after me. The reason I feel this way is that I've experienced it myself. Again, the reason I feel this way is that I've experienced it myself. Good. Notice the smooth rhythm. Now practice telling a short story that supports your opinion. For example, I prefer quiet places because last year I lived in a noisy area and it was difficult to sleep. Speak your own example now. Keep going for at least 40 seconds. Don't stop, even if you pause briefly. Continue. This strengthens your speaking stamina. Let's focus on clarifying ideas. Sometimes people misunderstand you. You can say, "What I mean is," repeat. "What I mean is," good. Another one. "Let me explain that differently." Repeat. "Let me explain that differently." Excellent. These phrases make you sound confident and thoughtful. Now listen to this example. Friend, so you don't like traveling? Evelyn, no, that's not what I mean. I enjoy traveling. I just don't like crowded places. Repeat. That's not what I mean. Good. I just don't like crowded places. Excellent. Let's practice expressing agreement strongly. Repeat after me. I completely agree with you. Again, I completely agree with you. Good. Now expressing mild disagreement. I'm not sure I agree. Repeat. I'm not sure I agree. Excellent. Now answer this question out loud. Is learning English difficult? Give a balanced answer. For example, it can be challenging at first, but with regular practice, it becomes easier. Speak clearly, slowly, confidently. Add one more supporting sentence if possible. Remember, at B1 level, your goal is not perfection. Your goal is clarity, structure, and confidence. If you can explain your opinion, compare ideas, and support your thoughts with reasons, you are already speaking at a strong intermediate level. Now take a calm breath, relax your mouth and jaw, and prepare for the next listening practice. Because next, we will work on telling longer stories, describing experiences in detail, and improving your natural speaking flow. Now let's focus on telling longer stories, because storytelling is one of the most powerful tools for building fluency. When you tell a story, you naturally use past tense, sequencing words, emotions, and descriptive language. All of this helps you sound more natural and confident. Imagine someone asks you, "Can you tell me about a memorable day in your life?" Instead of giving a short answer, you can build a small story. Listen carefully, Evelyn says. One of the most memorable days in my life was when I gave my first public presentation. At first, I felt extremely nervous. My hands were shaking and my voice was not very steady. However, after a few minutes, I started to relax and I began to enjoy the experience. Now repeat one sentence at a time. One of the most memorable days in my life was when I gave my first public presentation. Good. At first, I felt extremely nervous. Excellent. After a few minutes, I started to relax. Very good. Notice the sequencing. At first, after a few minutes. These phrases help organize your story clearly. Now let's practice sequencing words more deeply. Repeat after me. First, I prepared my notes. Then, I practiced in front of a mirror. After that, I took a deep breath. Finally, I walked onto the our stage. Say the full sequence again. Slowly, clearly, confidently. Excellent. These words guide your listener step by step. Now I want you to tell a short story about something you learned recently. Start with, recently, I learned. Continue speaking for at least 45 seconds. Use sequencing words like first, then, after that, finally. Don't worry about mistakes. Just keep speaking. This continuous speaking builds fluency strength. Let's practice describing emotions in more detail. Instead of saying, I was happy, you can say, I was absolutely thrilled. Repeat, I was absolutely thrilled. Good. Another one. I felt a sense of relief. Repeat, I felt a sense of relief. Excellent. Now practice. I felt a sense of relief when it was over. Good. Say it again. Naturally. I felt a sense of relief when it was over. Now listen to this slightly longer narrative. Evelyn traveled alone for the first time. She was excited, but also a bit anxious. When she arrived at the airport, she realized she had forgotten her boarding pass. For a moment, she panicked, but then she remembered that she could download it on her phone. In the end, everything worked out fine. Repeat key phrases. She was excited, but also a bit anxious. Good. For a moment, she panicked. Excellent. In the end, everything worked out fine. Very good. Notice the phrase worked out fine. It means the situation ended well. Now I want you to tell a short story about a time when something went wrong, but later improved. Start with, at first, things didn't go as planned. Continue speaking. Add details. Explain how it improved. Keep going for at least 1 minute if possible. This builds strong narrative. Chef Fluency. Let's focus on descriptive language. Repeat after me. The atmosphere was lively and energetic. Again. The atmosphere was lively and energetic. Good. Another one. The place was calm and peaceful. Repeat. The place was calm and peaceful. Excellent. Using 2 adjectives makes your speech richer. Now imagine describing a restaurant you visited. You can say, the food was delicious and beautifully presented. Repeat. The food was delicious and beautifully presented. Good. Now expand. The service was friendly and professional. Excellent. Combine them. The food was delicious and beautifully presented, and the service was friendly and professional. Very good. Let's practice reacting naturally in conversation. If someone tells you good news, you can say, that's fantastic. Repeat, that's fantastic. Good. If someone shares something difficult, you can say, I'm sorry to hear that. Repeat, I'm sorry to hear that. Excellent. These short reactions make conversations smooth and human. Now listen to this interaction. Friend, I finally passed my exam. Evelyn, that's fantastic. I'm really proud of you. Repeat, I'm really proud of you. Good. Now another. Friend, I didn't get the job. Evelyn, I'm sorry to hear that, but don't lose hope. Repeat, don't lose hope. Excellent. Now let's practice speaking more continuously. I want you to describe a recent trip or a simple outing. Start with, last month, I went to. Describe the place, the people, your feelings, and how it ended. Speak for at least 1 minute. Don't stop. Even if you hesitate briefly, continue. That's how fluency becomes natural. Remember, storytelling improves rhythm, emotional expression, and confidence. When you tell stories often, your brain learns to connect ideas automatically without heavy translation. That is the key to speaking easily and fluently. Now take a slow breath, relax your voice, and prepare for the next section. Because next, we will focus on daily conversations in practical environments like appointments, health situations, and polite formal interactions. Now let's move into practical formal situations, because real life is not only about friends and casual conversations. Sometimes you need to speak politely and clearly in more formal environments, such as at a doctor's office, at a bank, or during an appointment. Being able to handle these conversations calmly shows strong B1 fluency. Imagine you have a doctor's appointment. The receptionist asks, "How can I help you?" You respond, "I have an appointment at 10 o'clock. Repeat after me. "I have an appointment at 10 o'clock. Good. Now add more detail. "It's under the name Evelyn Parker." Repeat. "It's under the name Evelyn Parker." Excellent. Notice how clear and simple that sounds. Now listen to this short conversation. Doctor, what seems to be the problem? Evelyn, I've been feeling a bit unwell for the past few days. Repeat. I've been feeling a bit unwell for the past few days. Good. Again. I've been feeling a bit unwell for the past few days. Excellent. This is a useful structure. I've been feeling, which describes something continuing from the past until now. Now expand the explanation. I've been feeling a bit unwell for the past few days, and I have a slight headache. Repeat the full sentence, slowly, clearly, confidently. Excellent. Notice how and connects. The extra information. Now I want you to imagine a small health situation. Maybe you have a sore throat or you feel tired. Start with, I've been feeling. Continue your explanation for at least 30 seconds. Describe your symptoms simply. Keep speaking, even if your vocabulary is basic. Clarity is more important than complexity. Let's move to another formal situation. Imagine you are at the bank. You need to ask for information. You can say, I'd like to open a new account. Repeat. I'd like to open a new account. Good. Another sentence. Could you explain the process? Repeat. Could you explain the process? Excellent. Polite questions often begin with, could you? Now listen carefully. Bank employee. What type of account are you interested in? Evelyn. I'm not entirely sure. Could you tell me the difference between them? Repeat. Could you tell me the difference between them? Good. This shows curiosity and politeness. Now practice asking for clarification. Could you please speak a little slower? Repeat. Could you please speak a little slower? Excellent. Another one. I'm not sure I understand. Could you explain that again? Repeat slowly. I'm not sure I understand. Could you explain that again? Very good. These sentences are extremely useful in real communication. Let's practice scheduling an appointment. Listen carefully. Receptionist. When would you like to come in? Evelyn. Do you have anything available on Friday afternoon? Repeat. Do you have anything available on Friday afternoon? Good. Again, slowly. Do you have anything available on Friday afternoon? Excellent. Now answer this question out loud. When are you usually available during the week? Start with, I'm usually available. Add a specific time. For example, I'm usually available after 3 in the afternoon. Continue speaking for at least 30 seconds. Explain your schedule clearly. Let's practice expressing gratitude in formal situations. Repeat after me. Thank you for your assistance. Again. Thank you for your assistance. Good. Another one. I really appreciate your help. Repeat. I really appreciate your help. Excellent. These phrases make you sound professional and polite. Now listen to a slightly longer interaction. Evelyn applied for a new course. She received an email asking for additional documents. She replies, Thank you for your email. I've attached the requested documents. Please let me know if you need anything else. Repeat. I've attached the requested documents. Good. Please let me know if you need show anything else. Excellent. This is very useful in professional communication. Now I want you to practice a short formal response. Imagine someone emails you asking for information. Start with, "Thank you for your message." Continue for at least 4 sentences. Keep it polite, clear, and simple. Speak slowly and confidently. Let's move into handling small misunderstandings formally. If someone says, "Your application is incomplete," you might respond, "I apologize for the inconvenience. I will send the missing information right away." Repeat. "I apologize for the inconvenience. I will send the missing information right away." Excellent. Notice the calm tone. Now let's practice expressing responsibility. Repeat after me. "That was my mistake." Again. "That was my mistake." Good. Another one. "I'll make sure it doesn't happen again." Repeat. "I'll make sure it doesn't happen again." Excellent. These phrases show maturity and confidence. Now imagine a situation where you need to cancel an appointment. You can say, "I'm sorry, but I need to reschedule my appointment." Repeat. "I'm sorry, but I need to reschedule my appointment." Good. Add more detail. "Something urgent has come up." Say the full sentence. "I'm sorry, but I need to reschedule my appointment. Something urgent has come up." Excellent. Remember, fluency is not only about casual conversation, it is also about handling formal situations calmly, clearly, and politely. If you can explain a problem, request information, schedule appointments, and respond professionally, you are functioning confidently at B1 level. Now take a slow breath, relax your speaking pace, and prepare for the next section, because next we will more focus on deeper personal conversations, expressing feelings, giving encouragement, and speaking with emotional clarity and warmth. Now let's move into deeper personal conversations, because true fluency is not only about handling problems or making plans. It is also about expressing your feelings clearly, supporting others, and speaking with emotional honesty. When you can describe how you feel and respond to how others feel, your English becomes more natural and meaningful. Imagine a friend tells you, "I've been feeling overwhelmed lately." Listen to that sentence carefully. "I've been feeling overwhelmed lately." Repeat after me. "I've been feeling overwhelmed lately." Good. Again. "I've been feeling overwhelmed lately." Excellent. Now think about how you might respond. You could say, "I'm sorry you're feeling that way." Repeat. "I'm sorry you're feeling that way." Good. Another supportive sentence. "Do you want to talk about it?" Repeat. "Do you want to talk about it?" Or, excellent. Now listen to this short emotional conversation. Friend, "I don't think I'm good enough." Evelyn, "Why would you say that?" Friend, "I keep making mistakes." Evelyn, "Everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn." Repeat Evelyn's sentence. "Everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn." Again. "Everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn." Very good. Notice how calm and reassuring it sounds. Now I want you to practice encouraging someone. Imagine your friend failed an exam. You can say, "Don't be too hard on yourself." Repeat. "Don't be too hard on yourself." Good. Another one. "You can try again." Repeat. "You can try again." Excellent. Now combine them. "Don't be too hard on yourself." "You can try again." Very good. Let's practice expressing your own feelings. Instead of saying, I'm sad, you can say, I've been feeling a bit down lately. Repeat. Repeat. I've been feeling a bit down lately. Good. Another example. I'm feeling more confident these days. Repeat. I'm feeling more confident these days. Excellent. These expressions sound natural and reflective. Now answer this question out loud. How have you been feeling recently? Start with recently. I've been feeling. Add at least 2 details. Speak slowly, clearly, honestly. Keep going for at least 40 seconds. This builds emotional fluency. Let's practice expressing gratitude in a deeper way. Repeat after me. I'm truly grateful for your support. Again, I'm truly grateful for your support. Good. Another one. It means a lot to me. Repeat. It means a lot to me. Excellent. These phrases strengthen relationships. Now listen carefully. Friend, I helped you because I care. Evelyn, that really means a lot to me. Thank you. Repeat. That really means a lot to me. Thank you. Good. Notice the warmth in the tone. Let's practice talking about personal growth because growth is an important topic at B1 level. Repeat after me. I've learned a lot from this experience. Again, I've learned a lot from this. I experience. Excellent. Another one. It helped me become stronger. Repeat. It helped me become stronger. Very good. Now imagine someone asks you, what have you learned from your challenges? Answer with at least 3 sentences. For example, I've learned that patience is important. I've learned that mistakes are part of growth. And I've learned to believe in myself more. Speak slowly and clearly. Keep expanding your ideas. Let's work on expressing empathy. Repeat after me. I can understand how you feel. Again. I can understand how you feel. Good. Another one. That must have been difficult. Repeat. That must have been difficult. Excellent. These phrases make conversations deeper and more meaningful. Now listen to this small interaction. Friend, I lost my job recently. Evelyn, that must have been difficult. I'm really sorry to hear that. Repeat. That must have been difficult. I'm really sorry to hear that. Very good. Notice how 2 sentences together sound supportive. Now let's practice expressing hope in emotional situations. Repeat after me. Things will get better. Again. Things will get better. Good. Another one. This is just a temporary situation. Repeat. This is just a temporary situation. Excellent. Now I want you to speak about a difficult moment you experienced. Start with, there was a time when. Explain what happened, how you felt, and what you learned. Speak for at least 1 minute. Don't stop. Allow your thoughts to flow naturally. This type of speaking builds deep confidence. Remember, fluency is not only about grammar, it is about connection, clarity, and confidence. When you can describe your feelings, respond to others with empathy, and share your experiences honestly, you are communicating at a strong intermediate level. Now take a calm breath, relax your voice, and prepare for the next section. Because next, we will focus on improving your listening accuracy, understanding natural speech speed, and responding more quickly without long pauses. Now let's focus more deeply on listening accuracy, because speaking fluently is strongly connected to how well you understand natural English. Many learners can speak prepared sentences, but when they hear fast, connected speech, they feel confused. So in this section, we will train your ears and your reaction speed. First, listen carefully to this sentence at natural speed. I was going to call you, but I got caught up with work. Listen again in a slightly slower rhythm. I was going to call you, but I got caught up with work. Or repeat after me. I was going to call you, but I got caught up with work. Good. Now say it once more, smoothly, without stopping. Excellent. Notice how going to becomes gonna in fast speech. Native speakers often say, I was gonna call you. Repeat. I was gonna call you. Good. This is how connected speech works. You don't need to speak extremely fast, but you must recognize these patterns when listening. Now listen to another example. Did you get a chance to look at it? At natural speed, it may sound like, did you get a chance to look at it? Repeat slowly first. Did you get a chance to look at it? Good. Now try saying it a little faster. Did you get a chance to look at it? Excellent. Training your ear helps you respond faster. Let's practice a short listening dialogue. Listen carefully. Friend. Hey, are you free later? Evelyn. I might be. What's up? Friend. We're thinking of grabbing dinner. Evelyn. That sounds good. What time? Now repeat Evelyn's responses. I might be. What's up? Good. That sounds good. What time? Excellent. Notice the short, natural phrases. Now I will say a sentence only once, and you repeat it. I didn't expect it to be so complicated. Repeat. I didn't expect it to be so complicated. Good. Again, more naturally. I didn't expect it to be so complicated. Excellent. Now let's increase difficulty slightly. Listen carefully. If I had known earlier, I would have prepared differently. Repeat slowly. If I had known earlier, I would have prepared differently. Good. Again, smoothly. If I had known earlier, I would have prepared differently. Excellent. This structure expresses regret about the past. Now I want you to create your own similar sentence. For example, if I had studied more, I would have passed the exam. Speak your own example now. Good. This strengthens both grammar and fluency. Let's practice reacting quickly. I will. To give you a statement, and you respond immediately. Statement. I'm thinking about changing my job. You can respond. Really? Why is that? Repeat. Really? Why is that? Good. Statement. I'm feeling exhausted today. You respond. Maybe you should get some rest. Repeat. Maybe you should get some rest. Excellent. Quick responses build conversational speed. Now let's practice paraphrasing. This is important for fluency. If you forget a word, explain it differently. For example, instead of saying, I was starving, you can say, I was extremely hungry. Repeat, I was extremely hungry. Good. Another one. Instead of, it was huge, say, it was very large. Repeat, it was very large. Excellent. Paraphrasing keeps conversation moving. Now listen carefully to a longer natural description. Evelyn attended a workshop last weekend. At first, she wasn't sure what to expect. The room was full of people from different backgrounds, and everyone seemed very confident. However, once the session started, I realized that everyone was there to learn, just like her. By the end of the day, she felt inspired and motivated. Now repeat key phrases. She wasn't sure what to expect. Good. Everyone seemed very confident. Excellent. By the end of the day, she felt inspired and motivated. Very good. Notice the phrase by the end of the day. It shows time clearly. Now I want you to summarize that story in your own words. Speak for at least 40 seconds. Use your own vocabulary. Don't try to remember every word. Just explain the main idea. This builds listening comprehension and speaking fluency together. Let's practice noticing tone. Listen to this sentence in 2 different tones. I guess it's fine. If spoken positively, it means acceptance. If spoken flatly, it may show disappointment. Repeat. I guess it's fine. Good. Now try saying it with an enthusiasm. Excellent. Tone changes meaning. Now practice using fillers naturally, because in real speech, we sometimes need a moment to think. You can say, well, let me think. That's an interesting question. Repeat. Let me think. Good. Another one. That's an interesting question. Excellent. These give you time without panic. Now answer this question using a filler first. What motivates you? Start with, well, I think what motivates me is continue speaking for at least 40 seconds. Keep going. Even if you pause briefly, continue. This builds confidence in real conversations. Remember, listening accuracy improves when you focus on patterns, not individual words. When you understand the rhythm of English, your responses become smoother, quicker, and more natural. Take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, and prepare for the next section, because next we will combine everything you've practiced: storytelling, opinions, emotions, and quick responses into longer conversation practice for real fluency. Now let's begin combining everything you've practiced so far: your storytelling skills, your ability to express opinions, your emotional vocabulary, and your quick responses. In this section, you will listen to longer conversational situations, and then you will respond as if you are part of the dialogue. This will train you to think and speak in real time. Imagine you are meeting a friend after several months. Listen carefully to this natural conversation. Friend, it feels like we haven't talked in ages. Evelyn, I know, it's been way too long. Friend, so, what have you been up to? Evelyn, honestly, I've been focusing a lot on improving myself, both personally and professionally. Now repeat Evelyn's first response. I know, it's been way too long. Good. Now repeat the second one. Honestly, I've been focusing a lot on improving myself, both personally and professionally. Excellent. Notice how the sentence flows naturally. Now it's your turn. If someone asks you, what have you been up to lately? Answer with at least 3 sentences. Start with, lately. I've been, continue speaking. Add details. Explain your routine, your goals, your activities. Speak slowly, confidently. Keep going for at least 1 minute. Let's continue the conversation. Friend, that sounds productive. Have you faced any challenges? Evelyn, of course. There were moments when I felt discouraged, but I reminded myself why I started. Repeat. There were moments when I felt discouraged, but I reminded myself why I started. Again, slowly. There were moments when I felt discouraged, but I reminded myself why I started. Excellent. Notice the contrast structure, but I reminded myself. Now answer this question personally. Have you faced any challenges recently? Start with, yes, I have, or not really, but explain clearly. Add emotions. Describe what you learned. Continue for at least 40 seconds. Let's move into a workplace conversation. Manager, how are you handling the new responsibilities? Evelyn, at first, it felt overwhelming, but now I'm starting to feel more confident. Manager, that's good to hear. Evelyn, I'm still learning, but I'm making steady progress. Repeat Evelyn's sentences. At first, it felt overwhelming, but now I'm starting to feel more confident. Good. I'm still learning, but I'm making steady progress. Excellent. Notice the positive tone. Now imagine your supervisor asks you a similar question. Answer it out loud. Start with, at first, it was challenging. Continue speaking. Explain how you adapted. Keep speaking for at least 1 minute. This kind of practice builds professional fluency. Let's move into a discussion about habits. Friend, I'm trying to wake up earlier, but it's difficult. Evelyn, maybe you could start by adjusting your bedtime gradually. Friend, that might help. Evelyn, small changes can make a big difference over time. Repeat. Small changes can make a big difference over time. Good. Again. Small changes can make a big difference over time. Excellent. This is a powerful motivational phrase. Now give advice to someone about building a good habit. Start with, you could try, or maybe you should. Speak clearly. Add explanation. Continue for at least 40 seconds. Let's now practice a longer storytelling conversation. Listen carefully. Friend, why did you decide to learn English more seriously? Evelyn, because I realized it was limiting my opportunities. I wanted to communicate more confidently, travel more easily, and grow professionally. At first, it was frustrating, but over time, I noticed real improvement. Repeat key phrases. It was limiting my opportunities. Good. Over time, I noticed real improvement. Excellent. These phrases express growth and progress. Now answer the same question personally. Why did you decide to improve your English? Speak for at least 1 full minute. Use sequencing words, emotional language, and specific examples. Don't stop. Even if you pause briefly, let's practice handling disagreement in a longer discussion. Friend, I think success is mostly about luck. Evelyn, I see what you mean, but I believe consistent effort plays a bigger role. Friend, maybe, but luck still matters. Evelyn, that's true. However, without effort, luck alone isn't enough. Repeat. I believe consistent effort plays a bigger role. Good. Without effort, luck alone isn't enough. Excellent. Notice the balanced reasoning. Now respond to this opinion yourself. Success depends mainly on talent. Start with, I understand that point, but continue explaining your opinion for at least 45 seconds. Support it with reasons. Let's now practice a longer reflective. A monologue. Listen carefully. Evelyn says, when I look back at my progress, I realize how far I've come. There were days when I doubted myself, when I felt stuck, and when I wanted to give up. But I kept going, step by step. I reminded myself that growth takes time and that every small improvement matters. Repeat slowly. When I look back at my progress, I realize how far I've come. Good. Growth takes time, and every small improvement matters. Excellent. Notice the rhythm and emotional strength. Now I want you to reflect on your own progress. Start with, when I look back at my journey, continue speaking for at least 1 minute. Describe your improvement, your struggles, your persistence. Speak with honesty and calm confidence. This type of extended speaking builds real fluency because you are organizing ideas, expressing emotions, using our past tense, present tense, and future goals naturally. You are no longer translating. You are thinking in English. Take a slow breath now, relax your voice, and prepare for the next section. Because next, we will practice a full extended listening scenario, followed by guided speaking responses to strengthen your confidence even more. Now let's move into a full extended listening and speaking scenario, where you will use everything you have practiced, listening carefully, responding naturally, expressing opinions, describing emotions, telling stories, and reacting in real time. Imagine you are attending a small professional networking event. You don't know many people there, but you decide to start a conversation. Listen carefully to the full scenario first. A person standing next to you says, "Hi, I don't think we've met before." Evelyn unsmiles and responds, "You're right. I'm Evelyn. It's nice to meet you." The person says, "Nice to meet you too. What do you do?" Evelyn replies, "I work in education, and I'm particularly interested in communication skills and personal development." The person nods and says, "That sounds interesting. What inspired you to focus on that field?" Evelyn pauses briefly and says, "I've always been passionate about helping people grow, especially when it comes to building confidence." Now repeat Evelyn's first response. "You're right. I'm Evelyn. It's nice to meet you." Good. Now repeat the second one. "I work in education, and I'm particularly interested in communication skills and personal development." Excellent. Notice the calm confidence in that sentence. Now it's your turn. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you do?" Answer in at least 3 sentences. Start with, "I currently," or "I work as." Add details about your responsibilities, your interests, and what you enjoy about it. Speak for at least 1 minute. Keep your voice steady, organized, clear. Let's continue the scenario. The person says, "That's impressive. Have you always wanted to do that?" Evelyn responds, "Not exactly. At first, I wasn't completely sure what path to take, but over time, I discovered what truly motivates me." Repeat. At first, I wasn't completely sure what path to take. Good. Over time, I discovered what truly motivates me. Excellent. Notice the reflective tone. Now answer that question personally. Have you always wanted to follow your current path? Start with, "Not really," or "Yes, I have." Explain your journey, your doubts, your discoveries. Speak continuously for at least 1 minute. Let your ideas flow naturally. Now the conversation becomes deeper. The person asks, "What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far?" Evelyn replies, "One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that consistency matters more than perfection. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going." Repeat. Consistency matters more than perfection. Good. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Excellent. Notice the motivational strength. Now answer the same question. What is the biggest lesson you've learned in your life so far? I start with, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is continue speaking for at least 1 full minute. Give an example if possible. Explain why that lesson is important. Now let's practice reacting to unexpected questions. The person suddenly asks, "If you could change one thing about your past, what would it be?" Evelyn thinks for a moment and says, "That's an interesting question. I suppose I would try to worry less and trust myself more." Repeat. That's an interesting question. Good. I would try to worry less and trust myself more. Excellent. Notice the balanced and thoughtful answer. Now answer that question yourself. Use a filler first, like, "That's a difficult question," or "Let me think for a moment," then continue. I would explain clearly, calmly. Speak for at least 1 minute. Now imagine the conversation ends. The person, Arn says, "It was great talking to you." Evelyn responds, "Likewise, I really enjoyed our conversation." The person adds, "Let's stay in touch." Evelyn replies, "Absolutely. I'd love that." Repeat, "I really enjoyed our conversation." Good. I'd love that. Excellent. Notice the friendly but professional tone. Now let's move into a final extended speaking challenge. I want you to imagine you are giving a short talk about your personal growth journey. Speak for at least 2 full minutes without stopping. Begin with, "Over the past few years, I've experienced significant growth." Continue describing your challenges, your improvements, your mindset changes, your goals for the future. If you pause briefly, take a breath, and continue. Do not stop completely. Keep your thoughts connected, step by step. Remember everything you practiced. Sequencing. Count words like "at first," "then," "over time," "in the end." Use opinion phrases like "I believe," "in my opinion," "I've realized that." Use emotional language like "I felt discouraged," "I felt motivated," "I felt grateful." Use future structures like "I'm going to," "I hope to," "I'd like to." Combine them naturally. Fluency is not about speaking quickly. It is about speaking clearly, confidently, and continuously. It is about trusting your ability to communicate, even if your sentences are not perfect. When you allow yourself to speak freely, without fear, you create real progress. You have practiced daily conversations, problem-solving situations, formal interactions, emotional discussions, storytelling, opinion sharing, and extended reflection. Each time you spoke, even in practice, you strengthened your speaking muscles and trained your brain to think. Directly in English. Keep practicing like this regularly. Speak out loud, respond to questions, describe your day, share your thoughts, and challenge yourself with longer answers. The more you expose yourself to listening and active speaking, the more natural your English will become, step by step, day by day. Thank you so much for spending your time practicing with me today. I truly appreciate your dedication and your willingness to speak out loud and challenge yourself. That effort, right there, is what creates real improvement, step by step. If you made it through this full session, take a moment to recognize your progress. You listened carefully. You repeated naturally. You built longer sentences. And you spoke with more confidence. That is not small. That is meaningful growth. Remember, fluency is not built in one day. It is built through consistent practice, through patience, and through courage. Every time you speak, even if you hesitate, even if you make mistakes, you are moving forward. Keep trusting the process. Keep believing in your ability to improve. I encourage you to come back to this practice again. Repeat the exercises, respond to the questions differently, and try speaking for even longer next time. The more you stretch yourself, the more natural your English will feel. Keep practicing daily. Keep thinking in English. And most importantly, keep speaking without fear. I believe in your progress, and I'm proud of the effort you're making. I'll see you in the next practice session. Keep going, and never give up on your English journey.